Your brain has no hard upper limit on its cognitive capacity, and neuroscience is discovering specific compounds that measurably shift that capacity upward. Not by turning you into a different person, but by providing the biological inputs your brain needs to perform at its full potential. Some of these compounds are foods. Some are supplements. Some are molecules your brain already produces but needs more of under modern conditions. A double-blind, placebo-controlled trial published in Psychopharmacology tested Bacopa monnieri, an herb used in Ayurvedic medicine for over 3,000 years, on working memory, learning rate, and information processing in healthy adults. After 12 weeks, the Bacopa group showed significant improvements in verbal learning rate, memory consolidation, and speed of early information processing compared to placebo. This was not a marginal effect. The improvements were statistically robust in a rigorously designed trial. This video draws on cognitive neuroscience and psychopharmacology research. Stuff and colleagues conducted a 12-week RCT on Bacopa and cognition. The foundational Bardis 1982 paper in Science established the cholinergic hypothesis of cognitive aging. Riedel and colleagues examined glucose's direct effect on memory performance. And a 2016 review in Nutrients by Suleiman and colleagues synthesized clinical evidence for natural cognitive enhancers. There is a significant gap between the promise of nootropics in marketing and what the scientific literature actually supports. Many products sold as brain boosters have no quality clinical evidence. But dismissing all cognitive enhancers because some are pseudoscience means ignoring a body of legitimate, peer-reviewed research. The distinction is critical. Some compounds have double-blind, placebo-controlled human trial data supporting specific cognitive effects. Others are entirely speculative. In this video, we focus only on those with credible human evidence. The brain operates under biological constraints that create real cognitive performance gaps for many people. Modern lifestyle creates systematic nutrient depletions and stimulation patterns that push the brain below its functional ceiling. Omega-3 fatty acid deficiency impairs synaptic membrane fluidity. Low acetylcholine precursor intake reduces neurotransmitter production for memory. Chronic poor sleep reduces BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, the primary signal for learning and neuroplasticity. These are not philosophical concepts. Research comparing cognitively optimized versus suboptimal biological states reveals measurable differences in processing speed, working memory capacity, learning consolidation, and executive function. A cognitively optimized state, adequate omega-3s, acetylcholine precursors, BDNF supporting sleep, and specific adaptogens, shows faster reaction times, stronger memory encoding, and better attention in standardized neuropsychological tests. The suboptimal state, nutritionally depleted, sleep-restricted, and sedentary, shows measurably impaired performance on the same tests. The difference is biological, not motivational. Bacopa monnieri has the most consistently documented cognitive effects of any botanical compound in the research literature. Multiple randomized controlled trials have confirmed improvements in working memory, verbal learning, and information processing. The mechanisms include antioxidant neuroprotection, cholinergic system modulation, and enhanced synaptic communication via calcium channel regulation. Effects build over 8 to 12 weeks, not immediately, which mirrors the Bacopa mechanism of gradual synaptic optimization rather than acute stimulation. The caffeine-L-theanine combination is the most extensively tested natural cognitive enhancer in the literature. Caffeine alone blocks adenosine receptors, reducing fatigue and increasing alertness, but also increases anxiety in many people. L-theanine from green tea promotes alpha brainwave activity associated with calm alertness. Research shows the combination produces greater improvements in attention, accuracy, and reaction time than either compound alone, with less anxiety and jitteriness than caffeine alone. Creatine is not just for muscles. Research has confirmed that it improves cognitive performance by increasing phosphocreatine availability in the brain, enhancing the speed of ATP energy regeneration in neurons. Studies show creatine supplementation significantly improves short-term memory and reasoning performance, particularly under stress or sleep deprivation. A study in psychopharmacology found that vegetarians, who typically have very low dietary creatine, showed the most dramatic cognitive improvements from supplementation. Lion's manna mushroom has attracted significant research interest for a mechanism unique among nootropics. It stimulates nerve growth factor production. NGF is a protein that supports the growth, maintenance, and survival of neurons, and is essential for hippocampal neuroplasticity. A Japanese double-blind study found that older adults with mild cognitive impairment who took Lion's Mane for 16 weeks showed significantly improved cognitive test scores compared to placebo. When supplementation stopped, scores declined, suggesting the effect required continued intake. A research-informed approach to cognitive enhancement prioritizes biology over supplementation. Before adding any compound, the research suggests addressing the most common cognitive bottlenecks: sleep quality, omega-3 DHA adequacy, B vitamin status, and exercise-induced BDNF. These are the foundations. Once the foundations are addressed, specific compounds can meaningfully amplify performance. The sequence matters. Sleep and exercise have higher effect sizes than any single supplement. The evidence is unambiguous on this hierarchy. The cognitive enhancement timeline from research differs by compound and goal. Caffeine and L-theanine work within 30 to 60 minutes. Acute effects on alertness and attention. Bacopa takes 8 to 12 weeks of consistent daily dosing before significant cognitive effects emerge. It is a long-game compound. Creatine shows measurable cognitive improvement within 2 to 4 weeks of loading. Lion's Mane shows effects in 12 to 16 weeks of consistent use. Here are the research-supported cognitive enhancement steps in priority order. Prioritize sleep, 7 to 9 hours, as the highest ROI cognitive intervention bar none. Exercise 150 minutes per week aerobically. Ensure adequate omega-3 DHA through fatty fish or supplementation. Add caffeine 100 to 200 milligrams with equal L-theanine for immediate focus needs. Consider Bacopa Monnieri at 300 to 600 milligrams daily, but commit to at least 12 weeks before assessing results. The research logic for cognitive enhancers requires realistic expectations. If you are sleep deprived, then no nootropic supplement will compensate. Sleep-deprived brains show impairment that pharmacological stimulants only partially mask. If you take Bacopa and expect results in 2 weeks, then you will be disappointed. The mechanism requires 8 to 12 weeks. If you add creatine without adequate sleep and exercise, then you are leaving the biggest cognitive gains on the table. Cognitive enhancement is not science fiction. It is neuropharmacology. Specific compounds with documented mechanisms produce measurable improvements in specific cognitive domains in peer-reviewed human trials. Caffeine plus L-theanine for alert focus. Bacopa for working memory and learning over time. Creatine for energy-dependent cognitive tasks. Lion's Mane for neuroplasticity via NGF. But the research is equally clear about the hierarchy. Sleep, exercise, and DHA adequacy outperform all supplements as the cognitive foundation. Build the foundation. Then enhance it. Your brain is the most complex organ in the known universe, and it is remarkably responsive to the right inputs. Start with the foundations. Prioritize your sleep, move your body regularly, ensure your DHA intake is adequate. Then, if you want to amplify your cognitive performance with evidence-backed compounds, the research supports adding caffeine with L-theanine for focus, Bacopa for memory over weeks, and creatine for sustained mental energy. This is neuroscience, not marketing.